Do I have everybody's attention now?
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out at 2.
Yes, hello, it is I, Danhausen here, sent to you today by JB Housing and PK Housing, whoever they may be, for an intro to Kick Out at 2. Yes, hello, it is a Kick Out at 2. That means you win still. So, do that. It is about wrestling, and it's on YouTube and podcast. So, listen to it or be cursed, I guess. Okay, see you later.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. You know, I went to sing that, and I went, "Don't be that guy. Don't sing Stained." All right.
Welcome to Kick Out at 2.
Welcome to the
Or Kick Out at 3. It's been that long.
Kick out. Yeah, kick out. Kick out.
Yeah.
Just kick out. Get up. Do something. Yeah, we've been gone a while. I wouldn't mind. We've actually not been gone a while, but it feels like a while is a long time in wrestling.
It's been 4 months.
Like, if you ever want to feel like a short amount of time can have a long consequences, look at the career of The Rock between, like, I think it's 98 and 99. 98, he's the biggest heel in the company. 99, he's the biggest face in the company. It's like time has no meaning in wrestling, and these 4 months have been, if anything, proof of that, because God, there's been so much that's happened. We're not going to get properly down, and if we end up talking about some stuff that happened 4 months ago, we will do, but we're not. We're probably going to talk about more up-to-date stuff.
Yeah. Our last episode was about WrestleMania, so there's quite a lot's happened since WrestleMania.
Yeah. I'm Jay, by the way.
I'm PK.
Yeah, so this is Kick Out at 2. So, yeah, we're just going to kind of catch up and talk about other things. Well, one of the first things to talk about, start off on a low, why don't we? Dead wrestlers. If these 4 months has been...
And dead careers.
And dead careers, yeah, we'll get to that. These 4 months have been horrible.
Yeah.
For the wrestling community. You got the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
Iron Sheik, he went. Which I was gutted about. I mean, I'm not gonna be the first person to stand up here and go, I had Sheik posters, I had this and that. But
if you followed him on Twitter, that was enough.
Yes, it was enough. He was the no holds barred of Twitter. Like it was like all in caps locks.
It's
every
now called
day.
X as well.
Every day in caps lock, it would say things like "live, laugh, love, and fuck Hulk Hogan." You know, he just didn't stop. It was friggin' great. I loved it. And obviously, if you watch some of his old matches, he is great. He is great in them. And I think Iron Sheik's probably... He was more famous than you think, because I'm pretty sure my mum and dad knew who Iron Sheik was.
Yeah.
And again, but it's from his Hogan fights. But that was gutting that Iron Sheik went. I don't know if we talked about it. I don't know if it happened during, or maybe it has been in the past 4 months, but Drozdov. Well, his full name was Darren Drozdov.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like...
No, he didn't.
I thought Drozdov, you know.
No.
He's gone.
Yeah, Darren's Drozdov.
Yeah.
No, Droz went, of that, which again was kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
And a lot of the wrestling community were very upset about that. And if you want to know something nice about Droz, apparently from the day he woke up because of that injury, he was just still totally positive. Like it was like the chilled out surf dude all the time. Like, it'll be fine, don't worry, cool. You know, you're never gonna wrestle again. Yep, that's cool, it's fine. What else can I do in life? He was just dead positive all the time. So shame for him to go.
What did he do after his career was over? Did he was he still under contract with WWE or?
I think that they gave him a payout.
Yeah.
He did some things with them, but then he's just kind of lived off that payout, because I think it was a big payout. But he would do just simple things, like he just lived on his ranch hunting. I think he did some. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did. You know, when people go and do speeches and stuff.
Oh yeah, more talks and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
talks and stuff. And from what I can tell, he just still stayed in touch with all his wrestling mates anyway, and just to ask how they were. He was apparently he always said he was fine, even though he was paraplegic from a terrible accident. And D'Lo Brown says like any other wrestler probably would have made him feel like shit for what he did.
Yeah.
And he always says, D'Lo's like, I know it sounds weird to not feel guilty. He's like, I do feel guilty because I did it, but Droz never made him once feel guilty about it.
It's why he understood that it's something that can happen. It's a freak accident. That, anyone can do anything at any point. That even just a move they've done 1,000 times can slightly landed wrong.
Like, did you see so have you watched All In, by the way?
Yeah.
So have you watched the MJF Adam Cole match?
Yes.
Right. That spot on the stairs.
Yeah.
That brainbuster on the stairs.
Yeah.
I was watching that live. I was there, by the way, everyone.
I'm going to ask more questions about your experience of it.
I'm very annoyed, actually, because our sign of the week, by the way, our sign of the episode, sign of the episode, is in my frigging car, and I've left it there. But
It's okay, I'll put a little clip just at the bottom, just here.
Yeah, of where you can see it. I was holding it up. When MJF came out. I was desperate to get that sign out. I got loads of, I know what's going off on a total tangent here. I had my photo taken with so many people outside. I was walking around waiting, you're waiting 5 hours to go in, walking around with the sign. Everyone and his mother was stopping me going, that's a funny ass sign. I want my photo with it. And some people told me some great stories. Like one American lady was like, my dad used to say the joke, wrecked him, I damn near killed him.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm going to send this to him. He will love it. And another guy was like, I say that all the time. Never heard of her. Everyone loved that. So, and someone's also pointed out that the photo that PK will have put up where I'm at MJF is like the Mike Wazowski photo in Monsters, Inc., where I'm convinced I was on telly, but really the big logo, you can't see me. You can only see the sign. But as far as I was concerned, I was on telly. That brainbuster, at the time, I turned to Ash and went, that didn't look right.
Yeah.
If you watch it back from a certain angle, actually Adam Cole had really good curve. I think Adam takes the brunt of it by landing on his shoulders. But God, if that had gone like slightly wrong, that's a horrible move.
I've watched several times because it is one of the worst spots of that entire, not that match, the Darby Allin Sting match.
Oh yeah,
the coffin drop onto the coffin.
Oh,
his neck just goes like that. It just.
You know what I thought was a more painful spot because of after he's done it, it's got that weird dent in it. The Scorpion Death Drop.
Sting does. He does sort of go sideways, doesn't he?
And he does it on the coffin, but the coffin's got a dent in it. So I was watching the spike of the coffin going, careful how you drop Swerve here. You could end a career, But it's,
Technically, that they shouldn't have won that match. Swerve had his dreadlocks out.
I mean, I was waiting for someone to mention it. But the coffin was shut. The point is...
Well, no, because he used the...
but he could still...
baseball bat.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing.
Yeah, but no. So, the baseball bat holds the coffin open about it.
Yeah, but the dreadlocks it won't... If that had a clasp on it, you'd be struggling. You'd be like, oh, there's something not quite right on
I'm not going to say it was airtight, watertight, but I'm telling you right now...
It needs to be. It's a coffin.
A dreadlock.
That's the whole point of it.
A dreadlock will crunch... it was funny though. It was funny that you saw his dreadlocks on the back. There was other people. Me and Ash did go, does that count?
Yeah.
All right.
No, it might, but
So yeah, you had the. How did we get onto the poor move sets? Oh, Droz, obviously. Then you've got.
We went on a nice tangent then.
Yeah,
we usually do the other way. We start well
and then go down.
Really deep.
Yeah. You can see we're in it now. I know the beginning of the podcast was very fucking shaky, but we're back in it now.
Yeah. We're not. We're just we tangent stuff.
Terry Funk.
Yeah.
That was one I was expecting because I don't know, not in a nasty way, but I feel like there's been this big shove of his management or his marketing team pushing Terry Funk out there. I was getting messages on my phone going, Terry Funk merch now available in the shop and everything, as in to go like one last bid to go, remember Terry Funk. And then
Jake's still alive. How is he still alive?
Because Jake,
I think he's like Lemmy. He's just pickled.
Jake, how old? You know what? I feel like if anyone was
He
Lemmy,
looks about 207.
Terry was Lemmy to me because Terry's always been old as far as If I watch like a match from like the late 70s, 80s, he looks like old there.
Yeah.
He's never looked young.
No.
He's always looked like an old fart. I mean, I'm again not going to sit here and go, I'm the biggest Terry Funk fan in the world, but I have watched some of his old matches. I've watched some of the death matches with Mick.
Yeah, that's the kind of the Chainsaw Charlie
And
era
the
that
Chainsaw
I've
Charlie
watched. Just
era
because,
as well.
He was called Chainsaw Charlie and like, I'm like with a good horror gimmick. I'm all
Do you know
over
that was
it, so.
his gimmick?
Eh?
Like, so WWF got a bit of stick going, you've got Terry Funk, why are you putting a mask on him? And it was like Terry Funk didn't want to take away from the other wrestlers and be like, oh, it's Terry Funk. And he went, I've got this idea. I'll make myself look like this character. And they were like, when you put that on, you can still see it's you. And he was like, nope, you can't tell it's me. You cannot tell. And you can obviously tell it's fucking Terry Funk. And apparently he was called Chainsaw Charlie because of the guy who used to do his haircuts when he was a kid was called Charlie. And he was terrible at them. And so the older kids called him Chainsaw Charlie because that's how good he was at it. But yeah, that was all his own gimmick and all his own idea, which, to be honest, it's the Attitude Era.
It worked.
It worked. And then he he did loads for ECW as well.
Yeah.
He was always, and he put people over. That's a sign of a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Putting people over. And that's why I think Jericho ended up being really well known for that.
Yeah.
Terry Funk.
Speaking of Jericho,
the Ospreay match.
Yeah. With Jericho, for me, I always think it's like Iggy Pop. He's the Iggy Pop of wrestling, where it's just like, are you just not retiring yet? And then he does a match. He's like, that's why he's not retired yet.
Yeah, dude.
So,
I always blame if Jericho has a bad match. I blame the other guy.
Yeah,
I honestly do. I feel terrible saying that because I'm a big Adam Cole fan, but.
Little Adam Cole.
but Adam Cole versus Jericho is awful.
Yeah.
That was a terrible match. And a lot of people blame Jericho and Adam not being able to work with him. No, fuck that. Look at that Will Ospreay match.
Yeah.
Look at Jericho with a bunch of other wrestlers. He's fantastic. There was just no chemistry with Adam Cole.
So, for me, Jericho is similar. I put him in the same boat as John Cena in terms of they will do anything for the right person. You know what I mean? Like the right, they'll put over the right person or beat the right person. It's like then they put their ego aside to what's.
It's funny.
That's what I feel.
It's so funny you said that because some people would say they do anything, but a lot of people might go, well, hold on, he's a bit Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. John Cena doesn't do heel. Tonight, apparently. So we're filming this on Sunday the 2nd? 3rd. Time has no meaning in wrestling. So it's Sunday the 3rd. This will come out on Wednesday, I imagine. Yep. So we've got no idea what's going to have happened after then. But at the time of filming this, I've heard strong rumour Cena is going to come out tonight and turn heel for the very, very first time.
He's right. They've said this since like. Even when he played Thugonomic's heel character, he wasn't heel.
Yeah, but it's like, I think in this, he's genuinely,
I want him to come out wearing a Christian Cage turtleneck. Because to me, I
Christian, have you seen Christian Cage says he wrestles in the turtleneck?
It looks like a shit spy. And that's the beauty of it. I hate it so much, but he's playing it right.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what I mean?
getting under your skin. That's what he's doing.
That's what I mean. I'm like, oh, he looks shit, and I'm like,
Christian is right now probably one of the best heels in the game. Yeah. And the only reason I say that is because MJF has technically turned face.
Yeah.
Right? So
by default.
Yeah. Christian is so like, and he's just
with the whole like Luchasaurus belt thing. I thought that's genius.
Yeah,
him coming out wearing the belt.
Well, because didn't he do something
similar?
To
me,
Edge
this is like the MJF Wardlow vibe.
Yeah. Where like he's the muscle and he eventually will turn. But isn't this like? Didn't Christian take the what was he call it? Or the adoration for Edge won King of the Ring, and didn't Christian come out back in the day and was like, "Yep, I've won King of the Ring as well because you won it and we're tag team partners, so I've won King of the Ring."
See, I don't know, but that sounds about right.
So everyone, it's like he said as well that he's put on his Instagram the reason he wears a turtleneck. He's put up a picture of himself. He is shredded.
Yeah,
he looks great, and he just says, "I wear the turtleneck so no one gets jealous of my amazing body." That man, I've just joined a group called Christian Cage Dead Dad Posting, and it's fucking great. Because that's all he talks about. When he came out, have you seen that him coming out to Nick Wayne?
No, see, I've been super busy and I'm super behind, so I tried to start watching like Collision and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I'll jump on that, see what's going on there.
We've both been busy. That's why I've been away. So I went. You went on tour.
Yeah.
And then when you came back from tour, I went on tour. And when I came back from tour, you went on tour again.
Yeah.
And then when you came back from tour, I think I had I wouldn't call it a tour, but a couple of gigs. And then we've just been busy with stuff. And finally, we're in the same fucking room.
Yeah.
We've been trying so hard. So, yeah, there wasn't meant to be this gap. We are going to take gaps because that's what seasons do. But this was an unplanned gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Christian is... he's such a good heel at the moment. He's my fave. He's probably one of my favourites. Well, with the Nick Wayne thing, he came out. And the first thing he said, it was like, "Nick Wayne, new guy in town." So, I've heard you don't have a dad.
Oh, God.
Because he's dead. And honestly, that's the best gimmick right now because, like, fucking so many wrestlers' dads will be dead. It's such an easy heat as well. Just go in onto the dead dad. We started this with Terry Funk. Bray, yeah. And then Bray less than 24 hours later, which was a total shock. I mean, when you want a total shock, I regret not taking a screenshot of it, but a site that put up like, because there is trash out there. We're not journalists. We're not telling you the news. We're not pushing an agenda. But there is some things out there, a bit Meltzer-ish, which are like, "Oh, this is happening," or "I've got the goss." When Bray died, I went on Instagram to look for some stuff, and I found that one site had put like, "Bray will be returning soon, has overcome all health issues," and I was like, "Oh, it's such bullshit." And then I went back 24 hours later to that same page, and they deleted it. Because they just make stuff up. Yeah. They just make it up, and that's a bad one to make up because he was nowhere near well. He died, for God's sake. What's not to take away from Terry Funk, but it was amazing to see how much people came out about that.
Oh Christ, yeah, like that death hit me more than I thought it would. Like I didn't, not that I thought it would. That's wrong phrasing, but
then you would expect it to,
because there's someone I admire as a wrestler, but then like I was in tears. I was like, shit, this is like, because he's the same age as me as well, which is scary.
That's
like,
scary.
Think that like just pass away like that, but it hit me a lot worse than I thought it would do. Because we don't know the wrestlers and stuff like that, but you sort of make a connection with them, and you see bits of yourself in them, like all wrestlers and stuff like that. That's why we all love it. But like, I was just kind of like, oh wow, like that's shit.
It is shit. It's shit. And I think what's been amazing is seeing everyone make some kind of like dedication to him, from Impact Wrestling to AEW to everything. It's just the amount of tributes going out.
Yeah,
to,
like
and
FTR had Brody, Bray, and Jay. On their arms for Jay
Briscoe. Because again, it's been just like such a bad year for. I think I have it saved on my phone altogether. Wrestlers we've lost as well. Superstar Billy Graham, which I'm not going to again profess to know much about, but he was on there was a Dark Side of the Ring episode all about him.
Yeah.
Which you still haven't watched Dark Side of the Ring, have you?
Still not watched it.
I don't get how you need just watch one and you'll kick yourself. Lanny Poffo. And someone else we haven't mentioned, Mike Halleck, who is better off known as, is it terrible if I can't actually remember. Is it Mancow? Is it
I don't know. Sadly, I don't know that person.
But yeah, there's been a few wrestlers die, but I think Bray will be the one that hits the hardest.
Yeah,
because of the age, and he just couldn't catch. The guy was so creative, but just didn't seem to be able to catch a fucking break.
Yeah,
like he had a great, like what I can tell from what I've been able to study, because I've not really watched much, is he had a great 2 years, strong, solid 2 years, and then he was just treated a bit like crap.
Well, yeah, you had the whole Wyatt family storyline, and then they broke that up, and then they tried to push him solo for a bit, and then they teamed him off with like Matt Hardy and stuff like that, and it kind of was like he went from like literally just sort of peaking as the next sort of like Undertaker ministry
to mid,
and then just always sort of lower mid, and it's like he had such a personality and was so creative that it was just such a shame that they just didn't have anything for him.
And then he would make stuff for himself, though.
Yeah.
And he did end up becoming. He did become heavyweight champion, didn't he?
Yeah. When he came back as a Fiend.
Yeah.
He reinvented himself again as the Fiend, and then won the championship then as well. So
it's just mad. What could have been, and what could have been. So yeah, it's been a bit of a bad year for.
Probably though, Roman Reigns will still be the champion, and they'll improve like cryogenics, and then remake Bray Wyatt, and then he might be able to beat Roman Reigns in about 30 years.
Well, I like how Roman gave up one belt at least.
Oh, did he?
Did you not see this? So, it's been a bit stupid. So they made unified the championships. So they made a gold belt,
right? So
that he doesn't need to carry around the two belts anymore,
right?
But for some reason, even though this is obviously all kayfabe, Paul Heyman still carries the belts, but now Roman wears the gold belt.
What's the point?
Exactly right. So when Bray has passed, Roman has left the blue belt in the ring for Bray.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
So,
okay.
But that wasn't obviously planned.
Yeah.
That wasn't obviously like, carry these belts, Bray will die, and you can do that later down the line. So everyone's gone, that's a nice gesture, but still ruminate on the fact that why the fuck is this? Why are they still carrying around these goddamn belts? You've unified them. You've got a new belt to
get rid of that.
Get rid of them. Yeah. Just get rid of them. But yeah, that was it. That was a nice gesture. I thought, leave the blue belt in the ring for him. Yeah, so you've had wrestlers die, and then the elephant in the room.
Yeah, CM Punk's career's just died literally yesterday. That's why we're both wearing. Yeah. I got this the other week because to support trans rights and stuff, and I wanted to wear it for the next show, and then it just happened to be that.
Does it say on the back anything at
nothing?
all?
No, it's just.
Oh, that's not. Because his one. Did you see what his said?
No.
His on the back says, "I'm a collision girl."
All right. Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have got it if it said that on the back. Just because
you're not a girl.
Well, yeah, no.
But yeah, it was last night. It was announced that he was officially fired, and I'm a mixture of emotions. I'm not wearing this. We're not wearing these to be dickheads.
Yeah.
Because I think we're both kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
We respect him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
We respect the hustle. But what the fuck, Phil? What the hell were you doing? Jesus Christ.
Pick your fights.
That's a good way of putting. I was explaining this to Gaz the other night.
Yeah.
That the reason Hangman has managed to fly. Did we ever play that?
Eh?
Did you ever press play on that?
I thought I did.
There we go.
That's our background. There we go. It's been a while.
We've got a bit. It's been a while. Ring rust, folks. Yeah. We're just getting back into it. For those listening, we couldn't remember if we set the background up properly.
Yeah.
And now we definitely have.
Yeah.
No. Right. Pick your battles, because Hangman, during the whole Elite versus Punk debacle, Hangman didn't bite once, and Hangman was actually probably, for want of a better word, not the instigator, but he was a catalyst of it, because he did that promo on Dynamite. Phil did not like that promo, making him out to be the heel, which I don't know why, because someone has to be the heel, but let people pick the heel. If he wants to cut that promo, that kind of made Hangman the heel as well because of that. But Phil took it personally, because we don't know why, and went into business for himself a ton of times. All this. Hangman always held back. He didn't go in the locker room. He did. If anything, Hangman released some funny skits about it, if anything.
Yeah.
Which is what you do. Just fight fire with fire. As in, like, all right, you're going to go into business for yourself. I'm going to go into business for myself, but in a totally different way. And then, he's just done it again with Jungle Boy, which... So, do you know... What have you heard?
So, I don't know how it went about, but with the...
No one, I think, will do.
The glass of the limo.
Yeah.
That was what it... I don't know why they were talking about it.
So that was because...
Did Jack Perry go to CM Punk go, I'm going to do this spot, or were they just talking about it?
So the week before on Collision, Jack wanted to use glass.
Right.
He was told real glass. He was told no by Punk.
But why by Punk? Oh, did they have a fight the week before?
Punk was kind of in charge of somewhat of creative...
Of Collision.
Of Collision, yeah.
Oh, right.
So when they went to him, Jack went to him about it. He went no. And he was like, right. And apparently they were kind of like, well, butting heads about it. Jack was like, I will. Punk was like, you won't. He went out, didn't use the real glass. So then when it gets to this dark match, essentially on 0 Hour, which
I saw the match and I saw him saying that, and I just didn't know how the first bit of how the glass conversation started, so I knew the outcome. And
so he slaps the glass, for those at home who don't know. He slaps the glass and says something to the camera along the lines of...
Goes, real glass, cry me a river.
Yeah, real glass, cry me a river. And he ends up taking a fisherman's suplex onto the glass, topless, which I got to watch from about 10 feet away. It's fucking boss. It was a good... Everyone in the crowd went, ooh! ECW, for people who started chanting ECW as well, it's pretty cool.
I've got some of my favourite chants written down.
Oh,
as well.
Good. No, there was some good chants. I can verify some. I might be able to add. So anyway, they go in the back, and the stories have been mixed. The first story came out was that he went in the back, and Jack started on Punk. Allegedly, the first story was Jack came in the back, started on Punk, and pushed him and went, "What do you make of that?" or whatever. Punk started back. They had a bit of a tussle. That was it. Over time, it has turned out, and apparently there's CCTV to back it up, which is why it's gotten to the point where it has, that Jack went in the back. Punk came out and went, "You got something to say to me?" Jack went, "No," and it went a bit backpedal. Shawn Michaels-ish, if I'm honest, went a bit, went more mouth than fists, and went, "No, what I said out there, I was being a heel. I was just being a heel, playing a heel." Punk was like, "No, that was aimed at me." Shoved him back, shoved him again, shoved him back. Punk put him in a chokehold. This was in front of where Tony sits. Tony got up, apparently, to get involved, as some other wrestlers did. And then Punk went for Tony. That's the issue.
Shit.
Punk went for Tony.
Because Tony looks scared.
Yeah,
because usually he just looks like he's void of anything.
Yeah. Have you seen
literally,
that?
He's got the same.
Have you seen him holding up that belt? There's a video of him holding up that belt when Penta versus Moxley got announced Oh no, Penta versus Orange Cassidy gets announced.
Yeah.
There's a video trending. He holds up the International Championship. And I'm going to guess it's because he doesn't know where to look or doesn't know what to do. So he just kind of looks vacantly forward in no particular direction. But he sticks to it. So while these two wrestlers are talking, he's just like this. And it looks so awkward. And people have gone like, has he just switched off?
Yeah.
Has he got? But anyway, yeah, carry on. He, you said Tony looks scared.
Yeah, that's the first time he's looked anything other than the Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's a Zuckerberg, yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
So-
I'm a billionaire, now I have no emotion.
So yeah, he was scared apparently. They both got kicked out. No, so
right.
Jack got kicked out. And apparently
have you seen the there's a recreation of this online of an Attitude Era version of it,
right?
where it's Jack Perry and Undertaker. So
Why?
basically, it's the same story, but Undertaker turns around, beats the shit out of him. Vince McMahon sees it happening, bursts out laughing, and they're all back together on the day after.
What if that had been if it
was in the Attitude Era, yeah, it would have turned round. He would have got a beating for it, and then it would have just been like, right,
See,
that's dealt with. Carry on.
It's an odd one because I was on the way here listening to one of my favourite podcasts, which is Something to Wrestle. If you want to listen to another wrestling podcast other than us, Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, and it was a watch along of an episode of '97. They were watching of Raw, but the reason they were watching it was that night before the show had gone on air was the night that Brett and Sean got in a fight
Right.
backstage, and they're talking about it. And as they're talking about if you look up this fight, there's 3 versions of the event, but they are all quite similar. But at the end of the day, Sean walked out saying, "I quit. I ain't working here. This is an unsafe work environment," which sounds an awful lot like what Punk was saying. Brett was like, "What did I do wrong? I'm just standing up for myself." And the next 2 weeks were them trying to get them to come back. And if anything, there were legal proceedings made on Sean because Sean was really threatening to proper walk, but he had 4 years on his contract. But other than that, less than a few months later, they're both on TV again. Everything's fine and dandy. And no one is like taking legal proceedings. No one is.
Yes,
doing...
I mean, it's
but
like,
it's the only difference here that Vince wasn't within the firing line.
that's what I mean. Like Vince would have just been like, he would have like turned it into a story.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
that
It
was
would've
well,
just-
Vince that night made a they used to have the old 0900 number. Call the
Yeah.
09. He made it a thing that night. There has been a fight backstage between Brett and Shawn Michaels. Want to know the scoop? Call 0900. And
Shit,
He
turned
did,
it
he
on
did.
its head.
yeah, he made money out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he does. But this was, I think it was we're not in 1997 anymore.
We're not.
And I don't know where I stand on this because it's an odd one. Why did Punk feel the need to go and challenge Jack Perry when you know what would have been easier to do? Brush it off.
Yeah.
Or look down the camera and say something just as smart.
Yeah.
You're capable of that, Phil.
Yeah, he could have done something like he's going to watch this. Well, why are we addressing him? Seriously.
No, but it's
Well, he's got a lot of time on his hands now,
Well, yeah,
so he probably
now-
might do.
the thing is, I really enjoy his wrestling, and I
Yeah.
really enjoy his character, and I was really looking forward to this whole. Have you seen the whole Real World Championship thing?
Yeah,
with
yeah,
him?
I've seen that sort of.
We know that was probably going to culminate
Yeah.
in him and MJF again.
Finally, sort of just.
Unite, and you don't have the championship, I do. That'll never happen. We'll
Yeah.
never see him versus the Elite. And the reason we want to see these things is because, like him or not, you want to see him wrestle,
Yeah.
and you like the drama,
Yeah.
and it's just.
Have you seen? Did you see what Seth Rollins said about him when he originally?
Oh
went into
yeah,
AEW?
dude. Seth went hard, and Seth was like,
Yeah.
he just
Phil
went,
is a-
"Ha,
Phil is a cancer.
you're a cancer, Phil. Stay away."
Yeah, it's just like.
Well, people are saying like, "Oh, he'll definitely go back to WWE."
Nah.
The last time he went was a few months ago. He went to a show that WWE had.
Yeah.
He was kicked out.
Yeah.
No one wanted him there. No,
Was that our last episode? We mentioned that on our last episode.
was it?
Yeah, that he's been seen at a show and kicked out.
Yeah, and kicked out.
Yeah.
And it's just like
New Japan?
I was gonna say Impact.
I think it's a bit.
Hold on, he's CM Punk. Imagine the eyes on that product if CM Punk walks through the door. It doesn't say anything less about CM Punk because he's just been fired for having a tussle. So it's not like you can't wrestle, you can't have eyes on you. This product doesn't want you anymore. You walk into Impact. I'm telling you now, like I put it to Gaz, and Gaz went, you know what? I would watch Impact.
Okay, so I don't watch Impact, so I couldn't name one wrestler on the current roster.
I watch Impact. It's fucking boss.
Who's on the roster that CM Punk could go against? That it wasn't just like a squash match.
It wouldn't be a squash match. I would love to see him go against either of the Motor City Machine Guns. PCO is a.
All right. Okay. So yeah. PCO is great, but I don't think he's.
No, but like as you're building like in the same way. Who was the first person that CM Punk wrestled when he went to AEW? Darby Allin.
But that's because
I've just noticed even your watch face is CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
You've got mate.
But that's been like that for like months.
Yeah, dude. Same. Look, fucking. I've got Punk as my buddy.
Oh god. Little fanboys.
Okay, no, if you want to go into more serious territory of... So the top guys there, I would say are... You got Bully Ray.
Yeah.
Which...
I'll go back to PCO, don't get me wrong, because I really like PCO.
Yeah.
I have... I do follow him on socials and stuff like that, so I've seen some of his matches. He just reminds me of like...
Careful what you say, because I love PCO.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm trying to do justice.
And he has been the world champion before.
Yeah, he's like a weird Undertaker character. Like he is like Frankenstein. Like
he
would be part of the Ministry if that was about now. Is the weird sort of.
He plays the character so well.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, he had this really good feud with Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
And Eddie Edwards was being a proper good heel thing of like he would, try and catch PCO off guard. PCO would get out of it and then chase him down the street. And then next episode, PCO's catching him off guard, chasing him. But it would always end the same way. The camera would just come right under there on PCO, and PCO would just scream, Eddie! And it came off like a proper horror moment, like, ah! And it was just, there's something really cool about PCO. And I don't know if he could chant, if he could do the same, go, CM Punk or something. He'd find a way to make it like, I don't know. It'd be dead good.
Yeah. Okay. Fair point.
Macklin would be good. I can't remember Macklin's fucking. I always call him just Macklin. Macklin would be good. What's his name's just left?
New Japan, but Osprey and CM Punk in New Japan.
Well, Osprey has only got how long left on his contract?
Not long.
He'll be AEW Elite soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
I reckon in the next year you're going to see either him or Jay White's going to be the AEW champion. Easily.
I tell you what, I have become a bigger fan of MJF now. I have always been sort of... I love to hate him. That's always been. He's been a good heel, but like the whole Adam Cole thing, it's like it's good because it's like it is that character of like you can't trust him. It's a good soap opera. It's brilliant.
But he embraces the heritage and the things inspire him. Like so, the whole chair bit in the Adam Cole match is clearly Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, screw it, puts it on himself and lies down, and he's not even trying to hide. I'm gonna do the Eddie Guerrero spot.
Yeah.
But
it's a homage, and it's not a.
But he's that same heel.
Yeah.
Eddie was that heel, the lovable heel.
Yeah.
MJF has become the lovable heel.
Yeah.
Whether he wanted to or not, we
Yeah.
just ended up going, you know what, we're on board with this.
Yeah.
He's our scumbag,
Yeah.
which is the slogan.
Because I really enjoyed the whole CM Punk MJF thing. I thought that was an awesome storyline.
Yeah.
That was really good, and then this one's good as well. And even the MJF Jericho storyline with the repeated matches and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I genuinely like him.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Punk.
The kangaroo kick as well. Sorry.
The kangaroo kick.
Yes, that was brilliant.
He finds a way to. I think what MJF does best is he makes like a move the center of the story
Yeah.
of a match. If he
The
can land
double-
this move,
The double clothesline finish, I actually,
Yeah.
for me, double KOs or anything like that, I'm like, oh. But that, I was like, you clever bugger. You've used a move that you've been using in your tag match for ages to finish yourself. That's clever, that.
beg your pardon.
You heard.
But it's like he's like the tope. Can he do a tope? Yes, he can. Can he lift Big Bill? Did you see the Big Bill thing?
No.
Oh, it's great. So
Oh, the whole the Darby Allin thing. I'll defeat you with a
with a headlock takedown.
deadlock takedown. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
basically makes like that one move is going to be the move, and builds around the match around can he land that move,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter if he does it every time. It works, and you get involved, and you get really taken into it. It's the whole apparently J.J. Abrams has a similar thing where he calls it the magic mystery box. Apparently, in all of his films, there is a mystery box, and within it, there is something that helps the protagonist. And he's even said, like on TED Talks, he's like, it's not even like I'm not going to hide it. I do it in all my films.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's done the same thing. There is going to be a move that I'm going to try and hit. And hopefully, if I hit it, it will win me the match.
Yeah.
And that's the story.
Well, that's what a finishing move is.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole. Yeah.
But what's funny about MJF is he doesn't really have a finishing move. He has the Juga Guitar.
I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I'm just going to say what you pronounce it.
It's the New Japan armbar.
Right, okay.
And the Juga Guitami. That's the closest. And he has that's it. He calls it the Salt of the Earth. It's a Juga Guitami armor. He calls it the Salt of the Earth.
Was that similar? Oh,
it's just where you lay back with the arm.
Oh, right.
Like that.
See, the best person for me for that move was Alberto Del Rio. The way he got into it. Where he spun him, he flipped him into it.
Oh,
it was dead sneaky, and I really enjoyed that.
Well, MJF doesn't do anything that sneaky. He just tries to lay it on.
Yeah.
But it's not even like a common move he does. If he does it, it's Assault of the Earth, but that's it.
Yeah.
He hasn't really got a finisher. But then that's maybe why he just like goes, I'm going to nail this one move. That will be the finisher.
Never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Never even thought.
MJF is honestly he's magic in the ring, magic. And to say I've seen him live, but that match live was Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That was so bad. And the fact that everyone thought they knew going in that match against Aussie Open, they'll lose, and they'll lose because of one of them, and we'll see the rift, and that'll go into the main event. And they won. As soon as it went 1, 2, 3, you should have heard the whole crowd.
I could hear it on the.
We all go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And all turned around going, what does this mean? What on
Yeah.
earth does this mean?
Yeah.
What a swerve. Didn't even see it coming. Fantastic. Do you want to go through whilst we're talking about All In? Do you want to go and...
yeah, we can do if you want.
Go
You're
on.
looking at my notes trying to make any sense of them.
I
don't think I can make any sense of them, so...
Go on.
Yeah, but we mentioned before about the homages to Brody and Bray and stuff like that, and that was dead nice. But the first match, CM Punk, Samoa Joe,
Insanely good.
yeah,
Insanely good. The fact it didn't nearly happen,
yeah,
and if that's his last match, what a match to go out on.
yeah,
It
definitely.
was end-to-end brilliant. Samoa Joe looked like he was loving it.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely...
I
relishing
love
it.
my favourite Samoa Joe thing is his walk away.
Yeah.
That, to me, have you said the amount of memes of the mat, just...
I love
Brilliant.
there's a good compilation someone's made. Someone's made a compilation of every walkaway, at least in TNA.
Yeah.
And it's just brilliant.
It's
such
just
a good idea.
Yeah.
Why
It's
do
like, I am not going to sell this move to the point where I'm not even taking the move.
Yeah. Why do wrestlers? They just stand there and go, oh, what if I just walked away? Yeah, it was end to end watching. We knew that Punk was probably going to win, but there's a likelihood of Samoa Joe being.
He's just come back again, so
Yeah. It was just a shame we'll never see where it was meant to go. But the fact the match didn't nearly happen, so again, part of the issue was during that fight, Punk said I quit, and was like, I'm not going out. So Tony had to run around to find another match that would go on instead, which apparently loads of them were like, we're not ready. It was nearly Kenny Omega's match was going to be the one. Because they were like, yeah, we'll go. Samoa Joe apparently went, no, I'll grab him. And Joe went in the back and was just like, Phil, you may not want to wrestle in front of 80,000 people. I do.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So Phil was like, we've known each other for 20 years.
Yeah.
You are going out there right now. And apparently Punk was like, okay, you're right. We need to sort this out. But again, why does it come to that? Why does it become?
You could have watched his you've seen his last match, last AEW
possibly
match.
Definitely his last AEW match.
Yeah,
possibly his last match.
Yeah.
I honestly do think he could. If he went to Impact, it would get eyes on that product, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did it to try and stir shit with AEW and start to cause them to lose some viewership, or because people who do watch AEW do watch Impact, and if those
I think that the people who watch AEW have more respect for more indie, the smaller shows, at AEW, like I said, Impact, Ring of Honor. Oh, you can't go Ring of Honor because back to Ring of Honor because
that's just
AEW.
AEW under a different guise.
He might Tony Stark's it and be a manager.
Well, I saw the best tweet I saw about this was as a account called "We Pretend Kayfabe is Alive,"
right?
And they put, I don't understand, if he's been suspended, why doesn't he just get a manager's license like Ricky Starks?
Yeah.
Because that's what Ricky Starks is. Ricky Starks is suspended. And he's just going, I've got a man. And I love that. Yeah, why do it? It does ruin kayfabe when you get two guys actually have a fight in the back. And it's like, oh, this isn't a safe work environment.
Yeah.
How many times
it's fucking wrestling.
How many times have you filmed that someone's walking back to their car and they've been hit with a chair?
Yeah, it's like, this is not a safe work environment. As someone goes through a fucking metal coffin, you know what I mean? It's like, seriously.
Is this a safe work environment? Okay. Hello, Stephanie.
Someone's just wheeled an old man into a fridge. What's going on?
Do you ever see the clip where it's alluded that Vince McMahon killed a child?
No.
Have you ever seen that? It was during the I've seen it. It's during the what's it?
Was she not old enough to be a referee?
No, Ruthless Aggression era. There's a kid in a wheelchair. It just gets worse, doesn't it?
Bad time to have a drink.
It's a kid in a wheelchair, and he's making fun of McMahon, and McMahon's like, "You think you're so smart?" And he goes, "Yeah." So he grabs him by the wheelchair and goes towards a flight of opens a door where there's a flight of stairs, and the camera just moves slightly so you can't see. And Vince just does that, and and he shuts the door and walks away. And then he says like, "No one will even miss you anyway." And then and that's it. And then they don't even kind of kayfabe try and bring the kid back or make out, oh, he was taken to a medical facility. Nope, kid's dead.
He's still falling down the stairs. It's got a gravestone.
I'll send you it. It's brilliant.
Christ.
But yeah, that first match, it was the correct opener.
Yeah.
Because me and Ash were there. Berman, you've missed out. So we had Aussie Open. That was a weird 0 hour as well.
Yeah, that was ace.
Aussie Open versus MJF Adam Cole was the opener to the 0 hour. I thought it'd be the closer. And then the FCW Championship with Jack and Hook was good. So then we're like, oh, what's going to be the first match? As soon as I heard Joe's music, I turned to Ash and went, are you telling me the first match? I'm going to see CM Punk.
Yeah.
The first fucking match. And it was the correct call.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Yeah. I can't go on about that match enough. I loved it. Everything. I'd watch that again.
The Kenny Omega... who was in this one?
It was Kenny Omega with...
See, I'm not up on my New Japan wrestling.
So it was a Golden Elite. It was a Golden Elite one.
Oh, that was it, Golden Elite, yeah.
So it was Ibushi, Kenny, and Hangman versus Takeshita.
Yeah.
And 2 members of Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also
So
the
Jay
Ass Boys
White,
came out. Yeah,
yeah,
Jay White
Jay
and
White.
Juice. Again, this was a good match because it went back and forth. But then the shock being that Takeshita pinned Kenny.
That was the worst finish ever, the roll-up.
Really? You thought?
And any fight that just stops with a really rubbish roll-up, I hate.
It was a schoolboy as well.
That's what I mean. We've said this previously in the podcast.
We have
that
actually.
Is the one move. It doesn't matter. You can drop from a ceiling. You can use a chair. You can use any weapon. No one kicks out of the schoolboy pin. It's like that is the most dangerous move in all of wrestling.
I think the reason I gave it a pass that night was I feel Kenny in that match is really battered. Like he's the one that they focus on in the tagging. Ibushi's not focused on. Hangman isn't focused on. They pummel Kenny, so Kenny's the most tired technically.
Yeah.
And then he's just caught off guard. And Takeshi's big.
Yeah.
Takeshi's a big guy, and I did want Takeshi to. I'm looking forward now to Takeshi versus Kenny.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. It was, and again, the match before it was better. But it's
just that roll up finish just kills it for me every time. I'm just like, oh, bleh.
But Kenny's a hard one. It's hard to pin Kenny.
I'd rather like the ref gets knocked over and it's a
dodgy
finish. Illegal move. Yeah, I'd rather that or a dirty pin.
The dodgy thing that was happening was on the outside of the ring. The Ass Boys were causing problems, so that's why he doesn't get help out of it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I know what you mean. I'd take that on board. I'll feed that back to Tony myself.
Fair enough. Next one, Young Guns versus FTR. I'm not the biggest fan of Young Guns. Yeah.
Young Bucks.
Yeah, Young Bucks.
Have you wrote Young Guns?
I've just wrote Young versus FTR. Young Bucks, Young Guns. Young Guns are a god awful band. That's why I've
Young Bucks came out dressed as Freddy, which was great.
That was nice, yeah. So,
I like that.
Oh yeah, anything with like Young. I think at the beginning, Young Bucks are rubbish. Young Guns are rubbish.
There's no, it's new. It's when you put new at the beginning.
All right.
So we got
New Age Outlaws.
They're the exception that proves the rule.
Right.
Like the new Rockers, the new Blackjacks, the new Rock and Roll Express. Don't put new at the beginning. But Young Bucks versus FTR, the rubber match. It was good.
Okay, so there's a sign that does
oh
go. It kind of like that. That's my second on the sign. After yours, Fear the Revolver.
Yes.
Right in the middle, in the hard cam.
Yeah.
That is not going nowhere. Bang smack in the middle.
Fear the Revolver.
Fear the Revolver.
So have you got some chants from this, by the way?
Wheeler's got a gun.
Yeah.
Wheeler's
got a gun. Yeah.
that just. Don't agree with domestic violence, but
But did you hear any others?
No.
Okay, so when he got the Fear the Revolver out, on the hard cam, everyone in the arena heard it, and then chants just started everywhere. So behind us, it was he shoots who he wants. He shoots who he wants. Cash Wheeler. He shoots who he wants. Then there was he's got a gun. There was more, there was more. It was so funny. And then it went on so much that if you look carefully, Cash breaks and he starts laughing himself.
Does he?
Yeah, there was another one. I'm going to kick myself about it. And it was a proper footballer's chant.
Yeah.
It was just involving guns as well. But yeah, that whoever got that Fear the Revolver sign set off a bunch of fireworks of chants. It was great. Someone really summated this match really well to me because it was a good match.
Yeah.
It was end to end. It did a lot of. It focused on false finishes, which I think was the correct thing to do. Don't get me wrong, because didn't know how it was going to end by the end of it. But have you watched FTR versus Juice and Jay White?
No.
On Collision. It's only 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It went on for about 40 minutes. it's a long ass match. It's incredible, and it was better.
Fair enough.
As someone pointed out, and when someone went, not knocking the Young Bucks,
Yeah.
but if we're gonna have a match in Wembley,
That would have been a better match.
that would have been a better match, and I completely agree. It's a great match, but FTR can do better with other people. I don't know what that says about the Young Bucks. Don't really know. I don't want to say bad about them because I do enjoy the work, but there's other competition coming in now. They're getting shown up. But yeah,
Fair play.
Yeah.
Next, we got Blackpool's Combat Club, which
you
is-
hate that name
is-
still.
Only because the one person that says he's from Blackpool
Is no longer.
is no longer in the company. He's gone back to in WWE.
Yeah, it is a weird homage, isn't it?
So it's just like none of you are even English. So what's the
and
point?
they don't ever mention Regal because of obviously
Yeah,
he's
'cause
in the other company. So it
it's
is.
like-
It's,
What, like you're Swiss? That's probably the closest.
and they never got any photos in Blackpool either. They just
Yeah.
come over. Just fly up to Liverpool and
Yeah.
then just go to Blackpool for a day and have some photos around it to at least cement the name.
All around the Blackpool Tower like that.
Yeah.
Imagine that. It'd be well funny.
Moxley just nutting the tower for no reason. Yeah, so it's the BCC with
Best friends.
versus Best Friends, wasn't
Yeah.
it? But the BCC had help, didn't they? They had Santana and Ortiz. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They had Santana Ortiz, and Best Friends had Eddie Kingston and Penta.
Right. Yeah.
Stadium Stampede matches are hard.
Yeah.
This was good, but even whilst watching it live, you did get moments where you were going, Where's Eddie?
Yeah.
And Eddie's up in the nosebleeds,
Yeah.
going for a section, which is great if you're watching at home.
Yeah.
In the arena, didn't know where he was. Why is he gone? Penta just disappears so he can change into his really Penta Obscuro gimmick.
Yeah.
But none of us, again, we were like, where's he gone and why? And then when he came back out, it was more a case of we all went, oh, he went for a costume change.
Well, it's like when was it now? I can't remember who was talking about it. Going slightly off on a tangent, but the boiler room brawl matches.
Yeah.
When people were in the audience, they just had to watch it on the small
little screen.
Titantron, and they were just like, "Oh,
We were like going because the screens are up there and you're watching the ring and you're going, okay, making sure you're not missing anything up there. And on the screens, it would try and show both of what was happening as well. Messy match. It did work because I feel like at the end of the day, the people who wrestled in the ring tried to make it right. We'll be the focus, and they did. So luckily,
Moxley in that match took it for me. He was awesome.
he was amazing.
Yeah, that the X-Plex, where he just literally just nearly snaps him in half. You know, you do suplex, but then throw it forward.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
he kind of literally like.
Onto the glass.
Oh no! It was earlier than the glass bit, but he just goes up and just lets go halfway through and just he launches him and he's like on to the next one. He's kind of like a man possessed, which I love about Mox. That like
he does it well.
The sticks as well.
Yeah.
He sold them.
Oh, that was horrid.
Yeah.
It's got some good imagery in that match, especially because it's Best Friends.
Yeah.
Sue coming out in the van was great when Sue
Yeah.
when the van came out. You can't hear it that well on the recording, but I swear to God, you heard a load of people go Sue like that, which was great.
Yeah.
And with the hors d'oeuvres to hit them with.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't know Best Friends. So it's Trent, Orange Cassidy, and I always forget
Chuck Taylor.
Chuck has one of the best moves that I've never noticed before. But it's like this. He does like he picks you up like he's gonna do a backbreaker and then drops you into like a tombstone. Have you seen that?
No.
He does it on YouTube in this match, and then someone's lined it up to show how like 2 years before he was doing it in like a much smaller venue, and here he is in Wembley. But it's this sick move where he picks you up like he's just going to do a normal backbreaker, and midway through, he just grabs you like that and drops you on your head, and it just looks so. I can't remember what he calls it. It's such a cool move, and I didn't notice it, and I don't know if anyone's ever noticed it. You haven't either, but Chuck Taylor has this cool move that he seems to just drop in every so often, and no one's talking about it as boss. But it was really cool that they won, and they're getting the recognition they deserve. They've never had any belts other than obviously Orange has his belt, but they don't have any belts in AEW. But it was a good match for them.
I'm gutted Danhausen's injured because he would have been hilarious in that match.
Well, my mate Ash was like, "Oh, if they've lost." Actually, we haven't talked about this. So the whole Phoenix thing, Phoenix's his visa wouldn't let him go because he's trying to apply for American citizenship. Whilst he applies, he's not allowed to leave America.
To travel, yeah.
So they put him on without even considering that. So apparently that was their fault. And people were like, "Oh, who will replace him?" And Ash said, "What if they got Danhausen?" And I said, "What a stupid fucking replacement that would be. That makes no sense." And within 10 minutes, rang him and apologised and was like, "Actually, that makes tons of sense. He was with the best friends. He's got the dark Danhausen character he could bring out, what he's capable of. Why not?" But yeah, it was a shame we didn't get Danhausen at Wembley. That would have been something, considering we had fucking a lot of other people.
He would have been good comic relief for that.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
But no, my favourite shot is Eddie Kingston lying up against Moxley. Moxley's eyebrow is literally hanging off him.
Yeah.
Because he's took such a beating. And they look like an old married couple annoyed at each other. And Moxley's like looking at him, and Eddie's just like...
Yeah.
And when that image appeared, you heard the whole arena laugh.
Yeah.
As soon as it appeared, we all burst out laughing because of how good that is, and I saved it on my phone. So funny.
What have I put? European uppercut into next week.
Oh, someone did get a proper good uppercut. It was... I think it was Cassidy.
Cesaro did it.
Yeah,
Cesaro just start...
It was Cassidy. Cassidy, I think, got the worst
calling him
of it.
Cesaro. What am I doing?
I know.
That's WWE's...
I'll let you fix this. Come on.
Yeah. What's that? Claudio. There we go. Claudio Castanets.
Yeah. He that was a bad... Orange Cassidy was really good in that match.
Yeah,
and dug deep when he got the glass on the hand.
That was a cool little...
moment as well.
Yeah.
And it was also...
I do hate the Orange Punch or Superman Punch. I think it's the worst finisher ever. I don't know why. I just...
Probably because it's lazy.
Yeah, that's, to me, I feel it's slightly like... I don't know, but then again, it's like the super kick. It's overused. It's not... Oh. Yeah, let's yeah.
But it was actually there was a couple of spots that nearly went wrong but got saved. So Penta goes to do the Canadian Destroyer off of a ladder.
Yeah.
Decides to climb up the back of the ladder, which is
and it gives out, doesn't it?
Gives out.
Yeah.
So the camera cuts away. I was actually at that point, like I was up against the fence. So what happened was the hype guy grabs him, holds it in place. Penta believably hits Santana, I think it is, and picks him up by his hair and drags him up the ladder again whilst he climbs it, and then does it as quickly as he can, quickly gets in place and just does it, no build, just does it. And then that's why when the camera pans back, you see it happen. And it did save it. Like, you went from this spot where, oh god, the ladder snapped, to, oh, actually, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
The another spot, which we missed live, but I only saw because I've watched it on TV since, is Ortiz is meant to get superplexed off the turnbuckle into them tables by, I don't know, is it Chuck? Might have been Penta again. Ortiz slips and falls completely off the turnbuckle onto the floor, leaving Penta up there. Ortiz then runs back up the turnbuckle to just get hit in the head again, to then get suplexed into the table. But then the camera picks up that as they're lying there after they've done it, you see Ortiz turn and smile, go to Penta and go, "Thanks for waiting." You see it, and then the camera goes like, anyway,
Yeah.
like that. But I thought that was good. Missed that live, but yeah, messy match, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was funny, that one. Next one, you got Tony, Britt, Saraya, and someone else. I can't think of the
Tony, Britt, Saraya, and oh my god, because
from
you've
New Japan.
yes, why have you said that? I have no Cheetah.
Yeah.
Cheetah. So
Because the match started, and I looked up, and I was like, "Oh, I thought this was it was 4 people in this match," and then she just reappears like a minute later.
This was an interesting one because I think it was the only match where I definitely predicted. I was like, Saraya will win
It's
this.
a hometown show. It's like
Yeah,
it'd be
but
daft not
how
to.
do you get Saraya to win
I
this?
just put literally one word next to it. Meh. Meh.
I enjoyed it. I
I'd-
think it was the best of the women's division doing what they should do.
Yeah.
I had no problems with the story being told in it, with the finish, with the breaking up of the outcasts, which needed to be done. Tony's doing her own thing. Sheila finally got to defend her championship. She went from defending in front of no people because of 2020 to the biggest wrestling crowd of all time.
Yeah.
Britt came in and showed what she could do. It was a very, very good match. It was really heartwarming when Saraya won. It's just a shame that the women's division has to catch up to these 4 women, a lot of them. Whereas if you watch Impact, that's a very standard match that happens every week. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I understand if you didn't, but I did enjoy it.
Fair play.
Mm.
Next, fresh garments.
Fresh garments.
Yeah. That abysmal rap intro.
Oh, Swerve.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Even live, that sounded awful. Like that isn't a telly delay
Because it was him rapping over his own track
with the rap still playing.
with the rap still playing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't
So he sang slightly out of time to his own song.
and he was out of breath. I don't get why they did that. It didn't sound good at all in any way. What saves it though was then Sting and Darby with the build up that we know Joker Sting is coming because he has a little bit of red around his lips the whole time, and then coming out to Seek and Destroy by Metallica.
Yeah.
I just went through the fucking roof and just ran straight for the ring. I was like, I've got to get close enough for this.
So how did it work then with your with what tickets? Was it just like
Oh, so it was so weird. So we're on the floor, literally the floor. So when you get those photos and you see all those chairs that are on the floor,
Yeah.
what we were kind of told, we weren't told to our faces, but you had to kind of work it out from the way they reacted, was when wrestlers are walking to and from the ring, or when wrestlers are not in the ring, free reign, walk where you want. When wrestlers are in the ring, you have to be in your seat.
All right, okay.
That's it. End of. That's why Stadium Stampede caused massive issues, because everyone started getting up and walking around, and people arguing back. Yeah, but I know you're saying there's people in the ring, but there's also people not in the ring, and they're walking and they're going up there. How can we see this over there? And you can see them, the stewards turning, like going, "Got a fucking good point here." I think they were kind of told if someone's going up the aisle or whatever, you want the crowd to be there so it looks
At the
good
front,
on camera.
yeah.
Rather than they just wrestling in front of people just sat there going, "Oh, what's happening over there?"
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that, but other than that was how it worked. So yeah, when Sting and Darby were walking down, I would just run to the front of the ring as best as I can get there and try and see. The closest I got to anyone was Anthony Bowens. I was literally like this far away from Anthony Bowens.
That's cool.
Trying to get scissored.
Yeah.
And he's just the guy there, and then the guy 2 down. But there was loads of people. So
yeah.
But it was it was good. The fact I've been about like 10 foot away from Sting
That's cool.
was cool
That is
for
cool.
me.
And like to me, that match, it's insane. Sting is still going.
I know, it's such
It's
a good
like,
match.
He is not. There's no sort of like. He has not done, say, like, you know, Steamboat or Jake, where it's like, it's not. He is not a manager wrestling. He is still wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he is taking some crazy bumps and doing some. Like,
Yeah.
it's like shit. Like,
Oh,
it's insane. You forget how old he is.
yeah, you do, and you're watching it, and it was just end to end, really good storytelling. the only thing is, I did say, I was like, they will win because Sting is undefeated.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but they both that tag team was 18-0.
Yeah.
So they're 19-0.
19-0. But it's deserved because the way they wrestle and the way it's believable. And yeah, Swerve and Christian, which was great to see Christian come out. And
like I said, I hate Christian, but all for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, that was a weird one. AR Fox looks like he's completely burnt a load of bridges at AEW as well. So do you know the story of that?
No.
So it was gonna be Swerve and AR Fox. AR Fox was a new member of the Mogul Embassy. Get booked onto Wembley. What a gig it is for him to wrestle in Wembley now.
Yeah.
Apparently 3 weeks before, he went to AEW and went, I can't go to Wembley. And they asked why. We don't know why, but he gave some kind of reason, like a personal reason, like I can't go abroad. The rumor is that he still doesn't have a passport.
Wow.
But he's told people that he does have a passport. So they had to last minute change it to Christian, and then as punishment, looked in storyline they've even kicked him out of the embassy immediately, not pushing him because. Yeah, got to get your affairs in order. Got to take it seriously. But it is bad. It is.
Yeah.
It is shit. You're okay to play Wembley? Yeah. You don't just like go. Yeah. Just
everything's fine.
Yeah. You had the fire going.
Yeah.
Just even say like, I'd like to, but my passport isn't.
Yeah,
in
I don't
order.
have a passport.
Believe it or not, I bet Tony Khan could have gone. I will pay to do a 24-hour passport.
Yeah. I will. Yeah.
Fucking hell. But whatever. Weird. But I don't know what the story would have been with AR Fox wrestling, but with Christian wrestling, it did give this edge to it with Darby and Christian fighting over the TNT title.
Yeah.
Which I think worked probably
better. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
And then there was a bit where Christian and Sting were in the ring together, and everyone sort of started going, TNA. So, yeah, it was pretty sweet.
TNA?
TNA. Because that's what apparently the last time they were in the ring together like that.
Oh, right, okay, right.
So that was pretty cool.
Oh, Christine's thing. I'm like, why is my head going to Derby? Oh, yeah, shit, right, yeah. Oh, that makes more sense. Because TNT for the championship with that, but then TNA was, I
and even Nick Wayne came out. Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus came out to try and sort stuff out, and then they went in the back. Don't know what happened to. Last thing we see is Luchasaurus carry Nick Wayne away.
Yeah.
And then I've watched Dynamite since, and Nick Wayne's fine, so I don't know what was meant to be implied there. Kayfabe, apparently Luchasaurus took Nick Wayne in the back and went, this boy is lost, help him find him. What was the next match after that?
Can I just say about that bump, the one where he snaps his neck? He actually said that it really has damaged him, but he can still touch his toes, so he's going to continue wrestling.
He's insane.
Yeah, it's like someone said that he is not gonna have much of a career left if he's still doing bumps like that. But it's what it is.
What he wants to do.
What was after that? Then was it the? See,
after that was it the trios?
Writing. Yes, it was. It was the.
It was House of Black versus what has now been dubbed the House of Ass.
Yeah. I thought Billy Gunn retired.
So he did, but it was kayfabe retire. He didn't really retire. They bring him back because they steal his boots off of. So Acclaimed announced they're going to take his boots out every match. A few matches into doing this, House of Black come out, take the boots, and then do a vignette where they show him destroying the boots.
Oh, so right, okay, so it's a bit like the sort of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, actually a bit. Yeah, Malachi's done a similar thing with Cody, hasn't he? Yeah. So he comes back and says, "Well, Daddy Ass retired, but I'm bringing back Badass Billy Gunn." So he came out as Badass Billy Gunn.
Fair play, yeah.
Which I was honestly half expecting the Ass Man music.
Yeah.
Like they'd somehow got it. So that was a good match again.
See, for me, big House of Black Flam. House of Black Flam.
That's the first one in his recipe book.
Yeah.
The House of Black Flan.
Yeah, House of Black Flan. It's made with squid ink. It's nice. versus Acclaimed. Yeah, so that was a match where I'm like, I don't care who wins in this match because I enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not gonna get angry if either side win. And the outcome, I was like, slightly disappointed, but I'm like, yeah, fair play. Let's see how it goes. It's one of them where I wasn't fussed either way, but just really enjoyed the match.
No, I like. Have you seen what they've made? They've made new belts.
Have they?
Made new belts. They're pink, and at the back where they clip on, it's just scissors.
Oh, yes, that's well sick.
So that's been boss. But no, it was a good match. As the fact I can say I've seen Mr. Ass wrestle, pretty fucking sick.
That's good.
Brody,
he's huge as well, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize how big.
He's
have I seen him
6'7",
wrestle?
I think. 6'7". He's a big man.
I might have seen him wrestle at PCW. I'm not sure.
But then Brody King as well.
Yeah.
Getting every time whenever he wanted, just went in Wembley, just starts going oh,
Yeah.
and all the Wembley starts going woo. Oh, it's fucking boss. It was great, honestly, great match.
Do you remember he's in a band? He's in
Yes,
God's Sake.
he
Yes,
is,
yeah. Every time you're like, is he?
No. After that was it Jericho v Ospreay?
Can I just say, slightly back to God's Hate, they've done the best thing for God's Hate shorts that I've ever seen. It's him and Malachi Black going, it allows you to do better spin kicks at shows. And it's Malachi Black doing the Black Mass, but without the shorts, and it just knocks the guy out, and they pick the guy up and do it again, and he's like, oh, okay, puts these God's Hate shorts on, does the spin kick again, and it's just like a nuclear bomb. It is the funniest advert ever. You need to see it. It's proper funny.
What a name for a band, God's Hate.
I know, yeah.
So yeah, after that it's Ospreay versus Jericho, which I got to see. It was like literally just like up there from me.
Yeah.
Jericho playing with Fozzy.
Yeah.
And Jericho does. It's such. I love Jericho, but it wasn't the best.
What I was annoyed. He was playing electric drums.
Oh,
He's
was
playing
that
electric kit.
Was
yeah.
it electric kit?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, come on.
I didn't
That's
notice
just
that.
cheesy. Yeah.
Didn't notice that.
First thing I noticed, these tiny little black cymbals.
I didn't see. I was too busy. I did notice. I felt like the guitar had one of them tiny guitars with the headless.
Yeah, it did.
Thing as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
That was what.
Headless.
But when we got there, that was the first thing I pointed out. I went, "Oh my god, look at the microphones up there. That's where Fozzy are gonna play."
Yeah, Fozzy are gonna play
So
there. That was a cool intro. That
it was. And then Ospreay came out to his. I think it was his face music, because he's got face music and heel music.
Yeah.
And he came up to his face. So when the face music played, everyone was like, "Yes!" Good match. Nice way it ended as well.
Will Ospreay's finisher is ridiculous. It's such a good finisher. I can't remember what it's called, but both his signature and his finisher, hidden blade.
There's a hidden blade, and then I think his other one is
brutal.
actually called a Cheeky Nando's.
No, that's a Cheeky Nando's kick. That's a different move. Oh, is it? Oh. Well, either way, that finisher's ace. That's well good.
No, yeah, it was a good show off of Will, and I feel like that was Tony going, "Look what we can offer you if you come here." So, and the fact he's been in Rev Pro the night before, with 4,000 people, and then he's there in front of 80,000 the next night, and then I'm pretty sure the following, like where's he doing? He's doing another one with Zack Sabre Jr. now again, which is again either a New Japan show. He's just everywhere. It's great.
Yeah.
I love Will Ospreay. But yeah, it was a good match, and Jericho looked great. Still does.
Yeah, I saw him at Future Shock with about 200 people.
Bloody hell.
And it was insane. So good.
And then finish it off, MJF and Adam Cole, which was as good as it looked.
Yeah.
The atmosphere live was intense. Everyone didn't know which way it was going to go. Adam looked like he was actually being the heel. MJF was being the face. You didn't know if Adam was going to walk out the champion because he was going to go too far. You didn't know if some moves actually really went wrong.
Yeah.
The ref took the best bump I've ever seen a ref take.
Yeah.
There's the Panama Suns. Have you seen his Instagram? He's the ref's put himself in a neck brace and is like, and everything. He's doing full kayfabe. He's like, I am not cleared yet to go back to
Oh,
work. So good.
otherwise he's on holiday for a week after a big show.
But what a move to fucking take.
I know.
And then, yeah, it was and then when the cameras went off, MJF did like a little mini speech where it was like, didn't break character, but he was really all loved up about everything and saying, "You've all been amazing. This is an amazing thing. I hope you've all enjoyed it." And then they went, "See you next year." And then it appeared in the corner. That it's next year. It's happening again.
Oh, sick.
They've booked Wembley again.
Yeah.
So it was.
I'll get tickets for that one.
It was good crack. It was a really good crack. So yeah, what an emotional night it was. The whole event was great. Knowing now that might be Punk's last match ever, because it's what promotion will touch him, I don't know. Like you said, it touched even on what we said. It touched on the House of Black came out doing a tribute to Bray Wyatt, and a lot of the amount of Bray Wyatt. I said to PK before we started recording, there was a guy there in full Bray Wyatt uniform with the headlamp and everything, but it wasn't like there was just him. Tons of people have Bray Wyatt stuff on. Tons of people. I reckon the kind of people who would have normally wore an AEW shirt or something.
Yeah, war Bray.
There's no way that would have been been there. But the amount of love being shown.
It's so annoying. I wanted to get a Bray Wyatt t-shirt for a long time, and you know when you're like, oh, I'll get one soon. I'll get one like.
Did you just put it off?
Yeah, I just put it off, and now it's like, oh, it's ridiculously priced. Like, I can't kill Brody King t-shirt.
And yeah, he's with Brody now. That was some of the nicer pictures I saw is him and Brody together. And people being like, well, they're together now.
Brody Lee one.
So yeah, that's been a roundup of the past 4 months.
Yeah.
There's probably more, but I can just see from the time now we've gone on longer than we would normally do for one of these episodes. So I've been Jay.
I've been PK.
And it's time to stop the damn match. Bye.
Oh, before we go, we are on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on all the social media stuff. So we'll get that out of the way as well just before we go. So yeah, if you want to find us on or email us, kickout2@gmail.com. Sorry, kickout2podcast@gmail.com.
Oh my God! Of all the times I've all the previous episodes, I go to him to make sure, and he rolls his eyes like I can't remember, and you got it wrong.
At least I've done it.
True.
So anyway, now it's time to stop the damn match.
Bye.